Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to Dbacks Dispatch. We are going to be talking about a series win today at Dodger Stadium for the first time since April of 2018, which feels very, very odd to say. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever we go live like this to discuss series recaps. I'm always in a better mood when we're talking about a series win, and we beat probably the second best team right now in the National League. So, Gabe, what are just like your general thoughts on the series as a whole?
I think it's definitely something that we needed to show that this team can compete because, I mean, the Dodgers are supposedly, the World Series favorite alongside the Phillies. So the fact that they're able to come in and, for the most part, dominate them, like it was really just a one inning in game one where they got away from Saccone. But other than that, they were completely dominant overall. I mean, yesterday, today, they completed a shutout against the Dodgers, which, like, with their supposed $1 billion offense, they couldn't do anything about it. But yeah, I'm just happy to get the series win in general. Get back to two games under 500. Hopefully, with the Marlins series coming up, they can get over 500. But they exceeded my expectations because I did think that they were going to lose this series, or even get swept again. And I was happy yesterday that they didn't get swept, and I'm happy today that they were able to take the series and have some guys truly stand out like Cattell, Corbin, and Fott. So there's a lot of love to go around for the series.
Yeah, it was like just a good series as a whole. Brett, just your quick thoughts on the series.
Honestly, I think Gabe touched on it with most of the things. Just there's especially after game one, we can probably all, especially me, going into, please just win one game, don't get swept. But even with that, the first game loss, it wasn't like they really got blown out. Even though I know after the Freddie Grand Slam, we all thought it would be like that. But I think it was just we saw a lot of good things from this team that we didn't necessarily see from them in the last like few weeks, especially. Like hitting with runners in scoring position was a little better this series. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, and we'll get into that. But seemed a little better there. It seemed like they're actually just having some more consistent ABs. The bullpen was better in general. The starting pitching, obviously, other than Slade's, I guess he wasn't even a starter technically, but I'm not counting the opener. Other than Slade's one inning, it was just a really, really good series overall from the team, and I think it's something that they can use as a really big confidence booster going into. I'm gonna say a trap series against the Marlins. So hopefully this first win in Dodger Stadium in 6 years, and then I believe their first win against a team over 500 on this season. I'm just hoping they use it as a springboard for the rest of the month and the rest of the season.
So we end up losing game one, 6-4. We are now 3-13 in series openers. So not very good in the first game of the series, and like you're always right behind the 8 ball when you can't take that first game. So that was a bummer. I'm like, oh great, we're gonna have one of those again. Ketel Marte. Ketel Marte has been on an absolute tear since pretty much October of last year with the playoffs. With this hit in game one, he did extend his hit streak to 19 games. And I like when he gets it in the first inning because I'm like, whew, we can relax. Don't have to, like, it'd be nice if he gets another hit. But we've seen throughout this streak, which currently is at 21, 18, it's like 17 or 18 of the games, he has one hit. And that's why his average during the streak isn't at all like eye popping, but you're getting a hit in every game. Gabe, how long do you think he can keep this going? Like I personally feel like he's been on this tear since he got snubbed for the All-Star game.
I Man, with you truly don't know, just because there's been a couple of times during the streak where it is, the eighth inning, ninth inning, last time he's gonna bat, and then he just barely muscles it in. Like he has this certain patience to him, especially that you see it in the playoffs, where he would be a little bit wild, swinging at 3 straight pitches in the dirt, and then finally to extend the streak, he would be like super patient, fighting off pitches, and then finally would just muscle in a little blooper. But yeah, I mean, if I say now he's going to keep going, then we all know Friday he's going to get shut out. So I wanted to give a specific timeline for him, but I think these last couple of games have been important because he's had multiple hit games these last couple of games. But today with the home run, like he's been showing a little bit more power because during the hit streak it's been a lot of 1 for 4, 1 for 5s, and singles. That's mostly what he's been doing. But today he showed off the strength a little bit. So hopefully he's able to extend his hitting streak, put in a couple 2 hit games, 3 hit games with some power because as great as it is that he has this hit streak, singles aren't going to win a lot of games for this team. He needs to have some power.
Yeah, he definitely does. Now, that's the one thing. Is his slugging in this hit streak is over 500. So when he's getting the one hit, he's slugging, which is what we want to see. But unfortunately, he's the only one hitting. It's him and Kevin Newman as of late, and that gets very frustrating to watch. You're like,
why are big Cockamus Jockamus?
Like, how is just 2 of them doing it? Like, can we add like 2 or 3 more so then we can go? Because, and Brett brought it up today, he didn't realize we're only 1 game out of that final wild card. And I'm like, yeah, it's not that bad, people. Like, there's a lot of teams that are doing the same thing. Like, they win 2 or 3 in a row and they lose 2, or they lose 1 and they win 2 or 3. Like, they're not putting together wins like the Phillies and the Dodgers are. But Brett, same thing with Ketel. Do you feel the fact that he did not get picked for the All-Star game last year kind of put a chip on his shoulder, and he's just trying to show everyone that he's deserving of it? And how long do you think he can keep this consistent hitting?
I mean, to the first part of the question, I would definitely think it has at least some kind of factor to it. I mean, we know Ketel; he's definitely that kind of like chip on his shoulder like kind of player. I don't know if it's necessarily like still like on his mind like every day he's like, I'm going to show them I'm an all-star. But I think that at least it's definitely unlocked something that we've, this kind of Ketel, or this Ketel with like, his energy, just everything about him, like especially his defense, he's back to, fully healthy Ketel. I think that more has what to do with it, but I could see him being snubbed for the All-Star game, at least somewhat unlocking that Ketel, bringing him back. And then what was the second part? I'm sorry.
How long do you think he can keep this going? Like,
the hitting streak personally, it's always tough to keep a hit. I mean, it's tough to get a hit in any game in general. So the fact that he's already at 21 is really impressive. I mean, there's a reason why Ted Williams' streak has stayed. I think it's Ted Williams, right? Or was it Gehrig?
Nope, that's Ted Williams. 56.
It's late, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't want to mix up my baseball history, so I apologize. But there's a reason why that hit streak has stood for so long. And I think Ketel, I think there's a good chance, like if there's anybody that I think has a chance to get it into the 30s at least, I think it's Ketel. Especially with like the schedule they have coming up. I don't think there's any too crazy like pitchers. I mean, even when they're facing aces like Yamamoto, he's still hitting well. He's still extending the hit streak. Yeah, thank you, Oscar. I thought so. I personally think that this is just who Ketel is now. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think we've saw it in the postseason. We've seen it, all in spring training. He literally raked, and he's been hitting the ball basically nonstop to start the year. And like you said, Brandon, even when he's not like going 2 for 4, 3 for 5, when he's getting his hits, he's still hitting the ball really hard. They've even mentioned it on the broadcast a few times. When he's getting his one hit in the game, a lot of his hits are right back up the middle. They're hard hits.
Yeah.
They're not like the, duck fart through the side, or, he just got a jam shot and like blooped it over the third baseman's head. No,
he did have one that hit the first
a few of those, but it's not like, a majority. There's a few here and there where most of the time he's getting really hard hit balls. So I just think this is who Ketel is personally.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I want to bring up something real quick. It's not updated so far, but Ketel is third in the NL in war and position player war, obviously because pitchers take up more war. But
Yeah.
it's Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, and then Ketel Marte. So
That's
if
good company.
Ketel, as of right now, obviously, if Ketel isn't the starter in the All Star game, I think there's something very wrong with the voting, and it should be and fan voting should be abolished because of that.
I won't say that yet because there's like at least a month before. Like there's still, again, I don't want to jinx anything. Knocking on my desk that's made of wood. He could fall off. So just kind of don't want that too. But the fact that he's hit consistently all year. Like he's the only one that has been consistent because he's getting consistent at bats. Jock hits, but we saw at the start of the year he got 3 games in the first 2 weeks. But yeah, Jock is also doing a very good job. But we know that platoon with Gritchick we're going to see all year, and I'm fine with it because so far it has worked out amazingly. So I'm very happy about that. So moving on to our next story. The pitching staff, not the pitching staff, the coaching staff will never say these words that Slade was tipping pitches. But it's pretty evident that he most likely was. So third inning was an absolute disaster. Kike Hernandez, which you should be ashamed of yourself giving up a home run to Kike Hernandez. He then gives up a grand slam to Freddie Freeman. It was not the best inning for Slade Cecconi. So in this game, they did a opener with Joe Mantiply because in the first 3 batters, you got 2 really good lefties in Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman, which that worked out. Slade looked good in the second. The third inning, like I've discussed here, is an absolute mess. It was just, I was like, oh boy. And it's funny because I had tweeted after the second inning, I'm like, so is this starting the second inning thing going to work well for Slade? And I did that after the second inning, and then we saw what happened with the third inning. Will Smith, yeah, yep, I was like, yep, that was not a very smart idea. And again, like I said, the team's never going to say that, yes, he was tipping his pitches, but it was pretty evident after that because he met with Strom in the dugout after the bottom of the third. After that, he looked stellar. He looked really good. I think he went through the 6th in this outing. So, I thought he looked really, really good after that, but it wasn't good. And this is a screenshot that was found online, which I'm going to do this. Sorry, Brett. So that Gabe can actually talk about it and we can see. Gabe, can you kind of break down this photo that makes it look like he's tipping his pitches?
So the issue is always with stuff like this. It's so minimal to us, who aren't Major League Baseball players. But in this case, you can see his forearm is at an angle on the left side, and it's completely straight on the right side as he's going up for his windup. And like I said, it's minimal for us. We can't see this. If we're, Freddie Freeman's place, we won't see it, but he can. The baseball players have the greatest vision of all time. They can literally see the spin on the pitches. That's if a guy can't see a spin on a breaking ball anymore, then that's usually when he's out of the league. But these guys have 2015 vision. They have the reflexes for it. So all it takes is seeing for a split second that he might be tipping his pitches, and then they just jump on it. Everyone says that, at least I will say the Astros fans say oh, well, it's not even that important to, if you know what pitch is coming. It clearly is. If you have any sort of slight advantage in baseball, the other team's going to exploit it. So that's seemingly what they did because they were, not really swinging at certain pitches. They were lately not, going after his curveballs or anything. They were trying to go for the fastballs. The Will Smith one was just a hanging curveball and seemed like he was expecting it as well. So after that, he went to the dugout. He talked to Strami. He showed him the iPad and then seemingly fixed whatever issues he was having. And at the postgame show, he was saying like, "No, I didn't tip. I don't want to blame it on tipping pitches. I wasn't executing." And I mean, that's kind of what he has to say, because if he
Yeah.
says I was tipping pitches, one, he's deflecting blame a little bit, but also it's he can't be telling other teams around the league, all the 29 other teams, hey, I have a very specific tell, and if I'm telling at all during the game, I'm going to get blown up again. And so I think he was tipping even just a little bit. Like, that's all you need, especially these Dodger players. They're, like I said, they're leading in WAR. So yeah, that's why you pay these guys $1 billion, because they're the best at what they do. And if you got a guy who's up from AAA, even slightly tipping, then they're gonna go off on him.
Yeah, that was when I saw that, I'm like, tipping pitches, I've never like usually when it happens, they don't do it knowingly. And it's just weird to see that it happens in some starts, but it won't happen in another. And I've always like, maybe the team just did better film study and they figured it out. I don't know if it's tipping pitches on purpose. It's just good film study.
I think like what you said as well, with maybe he just, I genuinely think it was tipping pitches, because the fact that he was able to settle down. I mean, he still threw 80 pitches in total. He still got 6 whiffs. Like it's not like they were locked into every single pitch he was throwing. So that, especially with that game great breakdown, like that little bit of a window that those pitchers, like those hitters, are seeing, that like they're literally like they're paid all that money to look for, especially even like in my short time, well, not short time, but in my time in baseball and like Little League and all that, one of the things they're trying to teach you is look for like the release point in the pitcher of the hand. So like when the pitcher's set there, your eyes are already dialed in that area. So like that slight little thing that like I think, I don't remember when you guys said it before or like 5 minutes ago, one guy in the dugout probably noticed it and was like, hey, look for this. And then next thing you know, in the inning, I mean, 5 straight hits, 4 straight. Like that doesn't usually happen unless you're genuinely not executing and you're throwing stuff down the middle, or you're tipping. And he wasn't just throwing stuff down the middle. He was still like, trying to mix in stuff. They were just getting the ones like that. He was just clearly, in my opinion, showing.
Yeah. So we had the Kike home run, then Rojas with a single, Betts with a single, Ohtani with a walk, the Freddie Freeman grand slam, and then the Will Smith home run. So that's 5 hits in that inning. His overall stat line for Slay was 5 innings, 6 hits. So he only gave up 1 hit over the next 3 innings. So, yeah, he was most likely definitely tipping his pitches. So it's kind of a bummer. And I'm wondering if they maybe they figured that out and that's why they sent him down, because he did get sent down to Reno today. So I wonder if that's what they told him. Like, all right, we need to fix what you're doing with your slider, because I think that's what it was. Is that based on his arm angle, it was either fastball or breaking ball, and I think that's what Kike figured out, and he set it into the dugout, and then we saw all those consecutive hits. So that was kind of a bummer for Slade. But we got some other D-backs to talk about here. Lourdes Gurriel hits his first home run since April 16th. If after that Rocky series you would have told me that Lourdes goes almost 30 days in between home runs, I would think you are nuts, because he was tearing the ball up that first week. Like, I was like, this man's going to hit 40 home runs this year. No. He literally goes over 30 days in between home runs, and Cactus Jake decides to follow him up, and we go back-to-back here in the 8th. So a 6-2 game immediately comes a 6-4 game. So I'm like, oh, we have a shot at this. Jake McCarthy, to me, has been 2022 Jake. And we saw what he did in the second half of 2022 when he hit in the cleanup spot. And I was very high on him going into 2023, and he was not very good in 2023. I love this version of Jake McCarthy. I think he's batting like 280. He is our fourth. So I'm trying to say, can we classify Grichuk as our fourth best outfielder? Because he can play the outfield, but he typically is DHing against lefties. I personally think Jake is our fourth best. Outside of, sorry. Right now it's third because Alec is out. But when Alec comes back, I think it's Jake. And I think, to be honest, I think Jake's playing better than Corbin. So, Gabe, do you feel Jake has done enough to stay on the major league roster when Alec comes back healthy?
I think so, because in general he's been hitting everybody. He's been hitting lefties and righties, and he's been playing well enough in right to stay up in the majors. I mean, Alec is still some ways away, so I think hopefully both him and Carroll are gonna, either regress or progress to the mean. So he can end up being the fourth outfielder. Like if Carroll, I mean, he went off a bit during the series, so if he's able to hit more triples, he's getting his doubles, stringing in a couple of hits in each game. Like suddenly we might be talking about him being back to normal, and then once Alec is back, then again too, it's just the thing is we need Alec out there. That's who we need in the center field, because I know Carroll has been playing pretty decently, but any fly ball is caught by Alec, and it can save a whole bunch of runs throughout the season. And Carroll, if he's on one, if he's back to who he was last year, then he needs to be out there too. But if not, then maybe I wouldn't send him down, but I think he might end up having to platoon alongside Jake. I mean, we have a guy that we can send down.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And his name is Pavin Smith. So we are all on the same page on how we feel. So, Brett, were you as shocked as I was that Lourdes hit his first home run since April 16th? Did you realize it was that long?
Not gonna lie, I did not realize it was that long. I could have sworn he hit one a little sooner than that. But with the way the team was going afterwards, I was like, that really doesn't surprise me. But I'm just glad that he broke the streak and was able to actually, finally, because sometimes with, like we said before, he's such a streaky hitter. You don't know. He can go on like a 4 or 5 homer streak in the next week and a half. This could be the start of it.
Yeah, he absolutely could. When they said it on the broadcast, I'm like, let me check. And I go and I check his game log. Yep. The man had not hit one since April 16th. I'm like, oh my gosh, how is that possible? And then I realized, oh, wait, it's because he had a 2-week span where all he did was roll over to third base. I swear, there was a week straight where he did it like twice every game. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. But I think that he's come out of it. I think he's been a lot better the last 2 to 3 weeks. So it was really great to see him get out of that. So we did go 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Not awful. It's 286, which if you could do that consistently, I would be okay with that. But we know that they don't. And if you look at the league leaders in batting average with runners in scoring position, they're still in the top 5. And I'm like, that is very misleading. It's very misleading because they are not a top 5 team with runners in scoring position. Just realized I probably hadn't had that up for a while. So we're going to go on to game 2, which we end up winning 7-3. This is the Brandon Pfaadt start. Oh my God, Brandon Pfaadt is truly special. Yes, I know his win-loss record is not very good. He's now 2-3 as he won this game. But for me, in today's baseball, win-loss record is not an indicator of a good or a bad pitcher. Because we've seen Brandon Pfaadt have numerous starts where he goes six innings, maybe 6 hits, 3 runs, and then our offense has 4 hits and 1 run. So it's really not fair for him. Pfaadt was absolutely spectacular here. I go back and forth as to who's the ace of the staff. I really do. I know everyone, yes, Gallen's probably better, but I feel like Fott has been more consistent to me. So that's definitely going to be something that I go back and forth every start on both of them, because it's going to be, well, who had the most recent start? Who looked better? Like right now, you ask me it's Fott. Gallen starts on Friday. My opinion might change Friday night, because Gallen can do the same thing that Fott did. Go 7 innings, 4 hits, 7 Ks. I'll be like, nope, Gallen's the ace. So I know what both of you feel. Like, you both feel that it is Brandon Fott. But we all know Gallen's the Cy Young candidate. Like, Fott had 9 whiffs in this.
I want to at least clarify for the memes and future Cy Young, 100% Brandon Fott. But this team's ace is Zach Gallen. I want to clarify that right now. This team's ace is Zach Gallen.
Yeah, that's how I am too. It's like I do it for the memes. Like I know Brandon Fott's not the actual ace.
He's
like,
nasty. Don't get me wrong. I am a true
Gallen.
Fott believer, and I will still ride this man every day. Then make the agenda known.
Pause.
Yeah, make the agenda known that the true Fott believers from day one, even when he was giving up 6 runs to the Rays, we have been here. And we are eating.
Nope, that is not me, y'all. If y'all were to go back on my Twitter timeline, like from his first start to the end of the season, I was not on Team Fott. I was not on the Fott father train,
which is fair
at all.
And again, I was in my cope. I was in my don't worry, he'll be fine. He'll figure it out, because I was like, I don't want to be wrong. Again, it's not like you were wrong at the time. Like, that's the way baseball works. But at least as of right now, Zach Gallen is still 100% this team's ace. But in 3-4 years, whether Zach Gallen's still here or not, I don't know, man. With the way Brandon Fott's trending, he's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I want to bring up. We were talking about the win-loss records too with Fott. Like, I believe this is 7 straight quality starts, and almost all of them have been 6 or more innings pitched, and he's allowed 2 runs or fewer in all those 7 starts, and he's 1-3, I think.
5 straight quality starts.
5 straight, yeah, and he's like,
5, and I think it's 7
like
overall.
1-3. Yeah, so he's like 1-3 in those starts or whatever. So yeah, 2-3. So it's literally just like the win-loss record doesn't even matter. He's been completely dominant. Just the offense hasn't showed up, or the bullpen completely blows his games. But man, when he's, I don't even know how to say it, but he's just like those, just the pitches he's making, the way he dots the corners, the way he just embarrasses and like completely undresses these guys. Like, it's crazy. Like, and pure stuff on the team, I feel like he has better stuff than any of the starting pitching staff. Gallen, I feel like, just because he has more pitches than him, and obviously his nasty curveball, but just everything that Brandon Fott throws, he throws it with such conviction, such confidence, and he just looks amazing out there on the mound. He does have mound presence, which is something that people always talk about. Like, you need a guy who has mound presence. When he's up there, he's strutting. He's, he has such a big body too. Like, he almost at times can seem almost like Bumgarner from behind, just because of his broad shoulders and stuff. And man, he's incredible. And I know his ERA is still a little bit high. That Cardinals start really, really messed up that ERA. I mean, still early up in the season where it won't go down, but I can definitely see, at the end of the season, he's 180, 190 innings and a 3.5 ERA with like 200 strikeouts.
Yes,
I think Fott on the entire starting pitching staff, if you would ask me who has the best singular pitch, Fott's sweeper, I think is the best. I think it's better than Gallen's knuckle curve. That sweeper, when he throws it, if he can throw it where it's tailing outside, I think it's nasty. Like, that sweeper, that's what's going to give him a long career, is if he can keep that as his dominant pitch, watch out. Like, he could, and I think Brett said it a couple episodes ago, he might be our true first homegrown, developed starting pitcher. Gallen we traded for, and I think Brett brought it up, Brandon Webb's pretty much it. Everyone else, like, we had Patrick Corbin, dude has, I don't know what happened to him in Washington. Like, he scammed that organization bad out of money.
They did not have a good time signing him in Strasburg, let me tell you. I mean, they got a World Series out of it, so I mean, I can't.
Strasburg's different. Strasburg's.
Oh, I know totally. He won them. He won them a World Series MVP. I just still that much money to both of them. Thank God we're not doing that.
Yeah. So Gabe, just any final thoughts on how you feel thought looked?
I guess. I mean, I don't think you have the clip, but that strikeout he had against Ohtani, where he had Ohtani basically spinning in place in the first inning.
Yeah.
So look, if you want to know who Brandon Pfaadt is, that's who he is. He's facing off against the guy who will probably win MVP and is like the greatest living player of all time, and he just made him look like me at the batting cages. Like that.
Yep, that one right there, his very first one of the day. Like, it's the sweep. I'm like, first of all, Shohei, why are you swinging at that dude? But no, this game was very entertaining. It doesn't matter who's pitching for the Dodgers. Christian Walker is their daddy, y'all. Christian Walker loves hitting at Dodger Stadium. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. This was his 13th career home run at Dodger Stadium in 38 games. That's amazing.
God, I love him.
I do too. Like, the fact that he has saved us, for me personally, of forgetting about Goldie and not being so butthurt about that trade. What Christian Walker has done, he finally got an opportunity. He's the best defensive first baseman in all of Major League Baseball. I will die on that hill. I think it's not even close, personally.
I mean, the stats prove it. Him and Cattell are the best first and second basemen in the league defensively. If you look at the outs above average, and it's not even close right now. I mean, just the fact that we need to lock him down. Like, there's no other way to put it. We need to lock him down. We need to give him a contract because, I mean, he's a Dodger killer, and we're going to be facing the Dodgers in the playoffs for, the foreseeable future. So if we keep him around, he needs to be out there hitting home runs off of, Kershaw or literally anybody at this point because he's just hitting the cover off the ball there.
I mean, he's 33, so I don't know if he's going to be going anywhere. He is just on a 1 year, $6.5 million. I
don't know. Now that the DH is there, Walker's always healthy, man. Like, I think as long as
he's still playing Gold Glove defense.
Yeah, there's people will sign him just for that.
Yeah, so
we got to make sure we don't get him poached from us.
Yeah, definitely not. And then Jock Peterson's like, you know what? I like hitting home runs too. Hits a massive 3-run home run at off his former team, which is always bittersweet. And then there's
I love hitting home runs. It doesn't matter who it's against. That
well said.
I like homers.
Is he wrong? He's really good at it, y'all.
I imagine it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
Quick fun fact about that home run. The Dbacks posted a photo with that graphic of him hitting a home run. The bat that he's using is Cattell's bat.
Maybe everyone should be using Cattell's bat right now. The way Cattell's hitting, I think we should all be using his bat. For sure. So yeah, this is Walker's 9th and Peterson's 6th. And what's so crazy to me, Jock only has 115 at bats, 6 home runs, but it's just because he kills righties. Like, it's such a good feeling to know, oh, we're facing a righty. I know Jock's hitting. So if you're a fan of Jock Peterson, you want to see him play, look at who's starting for the opposing team. If it is a right-handed pitcher, 99% of the time, Jock's probably playing. So
and that really helps because I think they're like 26 or something like that in the league in OPS against right-handed pitchers. So we really, really desperately need Jock.
Yeah, and I think I've said it on every podcast since. This platoon DH thing that Mike Hazen pulled, genius. Jock Peterson was way down on my list this offseason for a DH. And then when we signed Grichuk, we find out, oh, yeah, he's hurt. He's going to be out for a month. I'm like, Hazen, what are you doing? I apologize. I am not worthy. You know what you're doing. It's the reason you're sitting where you're sitting, and I'm sitting where I'm sitting. You know what you're doing, Mike. So thank you. That is like, and he got them for nothing. Like that was a bar. Like that is old Ken Kendrick. I don't want to give you my baseball card money type of move. So yeah, I knew Brett would appreciate
I
that.
like that one. That was a good one. I like that.
So yeah, Jock was so good in this game. Let me see what else we got. Corbin Carroll. I love how smart he is when he's playing defense. I don't think I've ever seen him dive headfirst. It's always this sliding move that he does. Just like the play that he made last year that a lot of people has as a top 5 catch last year. He's always sliding on his back and on his side, which is smart because if last thing we want is he dives and he fractures his wrist or does something with his wrist.
You knock on wood right now, sir. You knock on wood right now, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
So yeah. Brett, you're the one that brought this up. Talk about your beloved Thompson. Tea time.
Oh, dude. I feel like we just talk about it as like probably the third time in a row, but I just need to talk about it every single chance I get. Ryan Thompson is an absolute godsend on this team and this franchise, and might just genuinely, with the way he's pitching right now, could end up as like, if not the best top 3 relief pitchers like in Dbacks history. This dude's insane. He goes out there, all he does is just get outs. He's not going to throw, 99. He's not going to be like Justin Martinez. He's going to wow you with, the radar gun. But he is going to take the ball and he'll give up a triple and be like, okay, guess what? Run's not scoring. Get over it. Not on my watch. Not happening. Like I believe a .84 ERA now on the season in like around 20 innings pitched. Him and Mason Miller, I believe, like they have to be 2 of the best relief pitchers ever. Like at least ever, but of MLB this year. Like they're insane. Like Mason Miller has a 1 ERA. He's really good. Ryan Thompson has a 1 ERA. He's been very good for completely other reasons. I'm going to bring it up every time I can. Tea time has been insane. We get flagged?
No, we are back.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's the clips. So I just gotta stop with longer clips. So everyone, I hope you're back here.
Try to put him down and put a border on him. I know the border really helps.
Yeah, I'll talk to Josh about it. So for everyone, hopefully everyone's back here. Yeah, I think just going a little bit too crazy with clips, so may have to William Harrell, Dodgers flat the stream. Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully we get a reason why. Yeah, that was kind of weird. But hopefully everyone is back. So
yeah, long story short, tea time is insane. I'm going to talk about it every chance we get. 1 ERA, 0.84, or 1 WAR, 0.84 ERA. He's disgusting.
Yeah, like he is truly, truly very special to watch. He's been pitching a lot lately, so I hope we can not have. To be honest, it'd be great if we wouldn't have to use him in the upcoming series against the Marlins. I think that would be a huge. He pitched a lot like over the last week, so hopefully he can get some time to rest. Actually, you know what? I wonder if it was the Jock clip because we use actual audio on that.
Oh, maybe.
So,
Either.
yeah, so we won game number 2 here, 7-3. So we're going to go ahead and move on to game number. Where'd it go? Did I not upload it? I thought I did. Hold up. I got to fix this real quick. Thought I put it in there.
You've heard of two-way players on the field. Now you got two-way players on the podcasting side.
So game 3, which was tonight, we shut out the Dodgers 6-0. Very beautiful. Ketel Marte, first inning, single. I'm like, yes, we can get that out of the way. Streak is now at 21, which ties him now. This graphic was from Tuesday's game. So he's now at 21, which ties him for Danny Bautista for 4th all-time in Dbacks history with longest regular season hit streaks, because we know Ketel has it for postseason hit streak. So if he gets a hit in every game versus the Marlins, he'll then tie the great Tony Womack, which I didn't realize Tony Womack had a 24.
I didn't either.
Yeah, and I also want to say real quick, other than Goldie, all those guys were on something, either steroids or greenies. So Goldie and Ketel are doing it, hopefully natural, other than the bananas and Red Bulls that they have in the dugout.
It's definitely all that it was. Don't worry. It was that, and then they all made sure they woke up and they ate a very hearty, balanced breakfast every day, just like Barry Bonds. That's a secret.
They trend really hard.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide, do I want to play more clips and test it, or should we just say no for now?
You just skip the clips for now, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want to risk it. But maybe
tonight's game to where at least this one's a little more fresh. So I think tonight's will be okay.
Yeah. So Brett sent me this clip of the catch that Corbin Carroll made against Shohei in the first inning. I'm like, oh, that's a really nice catch. I saw your comment in the Google Doc. I was like, wait, what? And then I watched it again. I'm like, oh my gosh, the man puts seeds in his mouth after he catches the ball? I was like, what is this?
He was running with seeds in his fist the entire time.
I know.
When he made the play. Like, that one I feel like is probably fine to play, if I'm being honest.
I'm to be honest, I'm kind of scared now.
That's fair. The nice thing is, if you guys are wondering what play we're talking about, whether it's Twitter, YouTube, the one that I found it from was Baseball Does Not Exist. His Twitter account posted out again, beautiful play, Corbin, nice, jumping play at the warning track. But in it, you can see him running with a closed fist the entire time, which he doesn't really normally do. And then, like Brandon said, before he went to throw the ball back, just kind of pop some seeds in, threw it back in. It's like, I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Where did you didn't post that? Where did you share? Did you throw it?
Text group chat.
Okay, where is that?
I got you. It's in one of the links.
No, that's not the one I want.
Found it.
Yeah,
posted already.
I'm going to do this so that if everyone wants to check it out, go ahead and click on that link. I think it worked. I hope it worked. We'll definitely have to. Yeah, I think it's hilarious how he's just like, oh, we're just going to put this in my mouth right now. Corbin Carroll. Sorry, Corbin. Corbin got a triple in this game. His third one in, 4 days? Because he had one, Saturday. Sunday.
Yeah. Then today.
When I rewatched the clip, I thought that they might have changed it to a double with an error because the outfielder Haywood kind of bobbles it at first. So I thought they might, but once the game was over, I checked Gamecast. It still said triple. So we're going to stick with the triple. So,
hopefully it signals a turnaround for Corbin, because up until that Saturday game, he hadn't had a single triple all season, and in less than a week he already has 3. So hopefully, he's actually really starting to turn things around, because even yesterday too, he also had some really hard hit balls. You got a double, and there's one that just stayed in the air long enough for I think Vargas to catch it. But he's making better contact. He's looking a lot better. It's not as ground ball heavy as he was before. He's still striking out a bit too much, but I mean, they're pitching them up and in with fastballs. That's hard for anybody who isn't, Otani maybe. Like he's probably like the only guy who can really turn around on those, or Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, and I've noticed like he gets that high inside fastball so much. Like it really feels like that is the thing now. Like,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
He knows it.
If you know you can get them out, it's one of those. I think that's at least one of the positives. Is like he's still gonna be overmatched. Like Glasnow's a tough dude. He throws a good fastball. I mean, at least we're seeing some better at bats and some better swings on those pitches up and in. But it's still one of those where it's not. I don't feel like it's at the full point to where he's gonna get pitchers actually back to the I can't just like pump fastballs there anymore. I actually got to go back to trying to pitch to him like he normally does.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Gabe for one of our tweets today. History does
of every tweet. This man just throws out nothing but gas.
History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. So we have this one from the NLDS last year with Kershaw and Gabby. Then we have today with Corbin Carroll and Tyler Glasnow.
I saw one of the replies to our tweet about that, and they're like, it's even funnier that Corbin's blurry in that photo. Like it just adds a little bit of an extra just nugget of gold on top of how fucking funny that whole thing is.
Yeah,
man, I was so close with my prediction on Sunday. I predicted 6 innings, 4 runs, and I'm like, I was this close for my agenda.
Yeah. Christian Walker hits another home run at, I'm not saying the word we have in our Google Docs, by the way, at Dodger Stadium, his 14th career. He is averaging a home run in 8.9 at bats at Dodger Stadium. Literally one every series. It's literally every 9 at bats. It's the best mark for any opposing batter that has a minimum of 100 at bats. Amazing. Just amazing. I love watching him play. His stats are absolutely ridiculous. Brett, you want to go, since you're the one that found these splits for Walker at Dodger Stadium?
In Christian Walker's career in LA, and again, this is not counting tonight's game, so this is not including his home run and I believe double. I think he went 2 for 4. In Christian Walker's career in 38 games going into tonight's game, he was batting 306, 364, 645 with a 1,000 OPS, a 169 WRC plus. Insane. The dude basically has the second home in, and Brandon didn't say he'd say it, but he has a second home in Poop Ravine. That is Dodger Stadium.
I mean, yeah, I guess you can say it. I really want to talk. You know what? I'm going to risk it here because there's no other way to describe what Ketel Marte also did today. This IQ play was amazing, where he dekes the second baseman, where he just puts his glove up and the guy starts going, and we get it up. Like, we had guys on first and second, no outs. Now, could have Ketel probably just grabbed it and thrown the double play second to first? Yes, but he got the 2 lead runners, which hindsight, yeah, it's fine now, but they could have gotten on a roll had they had a guy on third. That is, to me, that was a huge, massive baseball IQ play, because you see it sometimes where guys will do that. Like on a fly ball, they'll deke them. And I thought that was hilarious that Ketel did that. And also, shout out to Gabby from running all the way from home to third base to be involved in the pickle. I think that is a very underrated play that he did. Most catches would just chill at home. But no, Gabby saw what was going on. And that's why I love Gabby Moreno. Even though he's not hitting well, but that defensively, he is spectacular.
Yeah, I also want to bring up the fact that it was a game-changing play because they were up at that point. It was still 4-0. Dodgers had 2 men on, no outs, so they got the double play on that play and allowed Ryan to stay in the game and everything. And for a split second, I was like, "Isn't there an infield fly rule?" But I guess it actually wasn't in the air, and the
No.
umpire didn't have a chance to call it anyway. So, it's a huge risk. That the ball was like 6 inches away from hitting the base. If it would have hit the base, then who knows what would have happened. But he was just able to read it really well. He faked them out, and it was such a smart play. Like we've been missing a lot of great defensive plays recently, but it seems like they're starting to really really tighten it up. Like Corbin, his couple of plays in the outfield, and this one. So seems like maybe the fundamental D-backs are back, hopefully, and that's gonna be one of those plays, just like the Walker double play that he got last year, I believe, or 2 years ago. That's gonna be one of those that's gonna be taught to everybody what to do in those situations for the rest of baseball history.
Yeah, I think Justin Martinez here. I would rather see him in the 8th right now over Ginkel just because Justin Martinez is pitching better. The man has not given up an earned run in, I checked it earlier, since April 30th. He's had 7 appearances in the month of May. Justin Martinez has not given up a run. Like, that's amazing to me. Like the fact that he's gotten his command and control down, it's not fair. He throws you 102 mile per hour fastball, and then he has that sinker split. It's literally splinker. Sinker split mix that he can throw at you. Good luck. Like, we finally have a flamethrower out of the bullpen.
Only took
He's literally one of those guys who, like, he's only going to beat himself at this point. Like, you're not going to beat him. He's going to beat himself. He's not able to make his pitches. He's just so freaking nasty. I was a little disappointed I took him out so he didn't face Otani. But, we can get into it too. Mantiply is the Otani
both?
whisperer.
Can you imagine Mason Miller and Justin Martinez? Oh, my God.
We're going to win, like, 150 games if we get both of them.
Except for the sad thing is we probably have to give up like Human Lin and Christian Mena and another like guy at AAA, and that's not even getting started. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of teams that are going to want Mason Miller on their team.
Can I say something without everybody getting mad? Can I say something?
Okay,
so
go ahead.
I have something on Mason Miller. You guys can fact check me right now, but I believe he has in total maybe 30 something professional innings or 50 in all levels of the minor leagues and everything. 50 innings. That's not even, I'm talking about single, double, triple, and the major league. He only has about 50 innings. Everyone's saying, well, why would the Athletics ever let him go? They have 6 more years of control. I think that's why. I think the Athletics are very smart, and I think at some point he's either going to blow out his elbow or, he's yes. I think maybe Mason Miller at some point is not going to be Mason Miller that we know now.
It's very possible, especially with the way the game's been going this year with like injuries, pitchers' arms. But the one at least nice thing is I know the A's converted him. And this might be one of the only smart things the A's have done, because the A's and doing smart things is not a sentence that's really said much. But they converted him from a starter, I believe, to a closer. I think it was last year, because I think they tried to bring him up as a starting pitcher, and then we're like, no. Or like maybe they drafted him, and they're like, no, like you're not going to do that. But yeah, it looks like he has 53, just over 50 innings in the MLB. and then like 39 in the minor league. So like you're still not wrong. He has not pitched many innings professionally at all. Like less than 100 is not that much for a pitcher, and it's, especially the fact that he hasn't pitched much. Teams aren't going to have numbers on him, and like they do in the minor leagues, like they do now. Like he doesn't have 4 levels to go through where teams have seen him and can kind of scout him a little bit. Like, yeah, they can scout him now, like if they see him, but it's not like it is with like, Justin Martinez, for example. People know exactly who Justin Martinez is when they were bringing him up last year. People didn't know really who Mason Miller was until 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So crazy. So Brett, the floor is yours. Down on the farm time. Talking about D-backs, minor leagues.
So I guess it was a perfect segue, especially talking about, Justin Martinez and going through the minors. I wanted to look at a one hitter and one pitcher from every one of the levels of the Diamondbacks farm system that kind of caught my eye a little bit so far throughout the season. So starting off in Rawhide, easy one, but one that I forgot to mention last time, Drew Jones has been absolutely killing it. I know he got a lot of flack, especially after last season for starting off slow, especially with the injury. And then even this year, just kind of hitting a little bit of a slower pace than I imagine a lot of us wanted. But in the month of May alone, he is slashing 308, 403, and 442, with his season numbers going from, I believe, sub like 200 in like the 170s to it's now up to 270, 376, 405. So very encouraging things to see from Drew. And then the Rawhide pitcher that I've been seeing a lot of stats on, or a lot of highlights for in like on Twitter, was Caden Grice. For some reason the stats that I put in here didn't save for him, but he is a really nasty lefty. Doesn't really have too many innings. I believe they're trying to kind of like limit him because he was drafted this last year, I believe, with Tommy Droy. But he's 1-3, a 4.45 ERA in 30 innings. He has 43 strikeouts, a 1.19 WHIP. So obviously, minor leagues is kind of hard to gauge exactly what you're getting out of him. But 3 2/3 no hit innings. He struck out 8 across 3 2/3 in another game after that. He's really intriguing, and I personally really like those two. So I don't know if you two, Gabe or Brandon, have really looked into Caden Grass at all, but next time you're chilling on YouTube or chilling and you're like, I want to look up some highlights, and even for you guys listening on stream or listening on in the morning on your phones, whatever, in your cars, check him out. Give him a look. He's got some pretty interesting stuff, and I'm a slut for a good left-handed pitcher too.
I will say, in regards to Drew Jones, I told y'all to chill out. I told you guys don't react. Like everyone's like, oh, he's a bust. Not every player develops at the same pace. And everyone was wanting to compare him to Jackson Holiday. And look what Drew Jones has done in the month of May. It may just take, and like, there's no rush to bring him up. Like, somebody was like, oh, do you think we'll bring him up at the end of the year? Why?
Yeah,
we have such a backlog of outfielders. We don't need to rush him up. There's no rush for it. So yeah,
he turned 20 in November.
Yes, he's 20.
At that age, I was working like at Jimmy John's. Like, this guy is so far ahead of where I'll ever be in my life. Like, we just need to chill out, let him develop at his own time. Even he comes up when he's 23, he's still going to be around the same age Corbin was when he came up. So I mean, just let him take his time, let him develop. Like you said, we got a backlog of outfielders, so he's going to come up at some point. But he's not a bust. He's an incredible player. He has an incredible bat as well. So like, I know a lot of our guys, outfielders right now, aren't really going to ever hit 30 home runs, but he will.
Yeah. So yeah, when I saw how good he was doing, I was like, I felt good. Like, oh, look, be patient, and these guys will develop the way that that they're supposed to. So, Brett, you want to continue going through? That was low A. You want to go through high A, double, and triple?
Yes, sir. So I can go through them just in a quick. I'll go through the. I do have 7 because there was an extra guy in AAA that was technically on the AA squad, but was doing so good that he called up, so I kind of threw him in there. But I'll go through these next 6 really quick. So for the Hillsborough Hops high A team, their 2022 5th-round pick, Andrew Pinter, not Pintar. I always mix the two up. Is now up to 7 home runs on the season. He has a 916 OPS, slashing 333, 417, 667. Has got 21 hits, 5 home runs, and 13 RBIs in the month of May alone. So he's had a really good stretch. And he's also another outfielder, so kind of just continuing we just have so many outfielders. So it's good to see him. Spencer Geisting was a pitcher at high A that I was kind of looking at his stats and were interesting to me. He is 2-2 on the year, but he has a .79 ERA with 33 Ks and only 9 walks in 34 innings pitched this year. He has gone 5+ innings in 5 out of his 6 starts of his season so far, with the only start that he didn't go 5 innings being basically like his opening start of the season. And he was up to 4. I don't think he pitched yesterday, but his most recent start on May 15th, he went 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 9 Ks. So was really liking what I saw from him. Moving on to Amarillo Sod Poodles in AA. I know backup catcher and catcher is always kind of a thing that me personally, I'm always interested in and keep an eye on. Caleb Roberts is leading the Saudis with an 852 OPS, slashing 277, 416, 436. I feel like because I know when we had Hippity Hops guy on a while ago, he was talking about how so many people just kind of go through Hillsborough really fast. So like it's not surprising that he doesn't have like the craziest slash line compared to some of the other stops where guys kind of sit and marinate for a bit, but he's still hitting pretty good in May. 294, 463, 451 with a double, 2 triples, and a home run. So really good to see, especially can never be upset with future backup catcher options. And then the pitcher for the Saudis that I even told Gabe, Josh, and Brandon in the group chat to look at was Yilber Diaz, right-handed starting pitcher. He has 62 strikeouts in 41 and a third innings pitched, which is just you see those like kind of strikeout numbers like pretty insane. He's 1-4 in the season, so wins and losses are just a pitcher's like not a pitcher stat to me anymore. But he's got a 3.70 ERA, second on the team. He's gotten knocked around a little bit, but he's now gone 6 innings pitched in 3 of his last 4 starts. May alone, he's given up only 6 runs across 23 and a third innings for a 2.31 ERA, striking out 11 in one game, 10 in one, and then 8 in the third. So kind of like I said before, the strikeout numbers really intriguing, kind of pop off the page. And then to finish it off with the Reno Aces, the one that I was saying before that was killing it in AA that called up to Reno, you guys probably saw online. But Davison De Los Santos, the one that we got back from the Guardians, that not surprising, he's not really a fielder at all, but oh boy, can he hit. In AA, he slashed 372, 426, 696 for a 111 or a 1,122 OPS. He hit 13 home runs in 39 games. And then in his first game for the Aces, and I believe his first at bat, he was like a foot or two short of having his first AAA hit being a home run. He does swing and miss a lot, 36 Ks in AA alone. So kind of like with Ivan Melendez, you're going to have some bad with the good, but when he makes contact, oh boy, does it really make that good shine. But moving on to the actual third baseman actual hitter that's been staying at Reno for a good time this year, and we were kind of talking about it in the group chat, was Andres Chaparro, third baseman down there that we ended up signing after he left the Yankees farm system. He is slashing 326, 411, 558 in, I believe, the exact same amount of at-bats that Gino actually has up here too. He has 9 home runs, 11 doubles, 23 walks. So like Gabe even pointed out in the group chat, it's not like he's just up there slugging. He's taking his walks and he's being very patient. So if Gino continues to kind of go on the slide, I really doubt that he does get sent down. But if for any reason we do need to kind of have somebody that we can kind of slot in at third base and then first for a rare Walker day off, Chaparro is a really interesting guy I have in mind. And then the one that I feel like is the most talked about for a lot of people, especially on Dbacks Twitter lately, with some of the struggles we've had with Slade Zacconi and Ryan Nelson, is Christian Mena. After 9 starts, I believe, 9 starts now. He's 2-0 with a 3.42 ERA across 50 innings with 54 Ks. 6 straight starts going 5 innings plus. I believe there's been a few where he's gone like 6. 3 earned runs or fewer. 19 total whiffs in his start today to go along with 8 Ks. So kind of like I was saying with Chaparro and Gino, if we have inevitably need to send down Ryan Nelson, I know Slade was sent down today. I think it's pretty obvious. Mena is going to be the clear choice. Like, he is going to be the one that's deserved it. He's put up some really good numbers in Reno. Like, we all know that Reno is not the most pitcher friendly environment at all. So the fact that he's doing what he's doing in Reno is really good to see. And I personally hope he gets the call soon. So I know it was a little bit longer of a ranting session that we probably all had in mind, but there's a quick rundown of some of the, especially probably lesser known minor league guys that I don't think a lot of us, because even for me personally, I was like, man, I don't know a lot of these guys' names. So I was looking through, game logs and all that. And those are some of the few that kind of stood out to me.
Yeah. No, I think that was really good. I knew about a lot of the guys in Reno and obviously Drew Jones, but Caden Grice, I definitely probably going to try and keep my eye on that one a little bit more, because you can never have too many lefties. So it's always something good to have. So we're going to breeze through our preview of the Miami Marlins because it's the Miami Marlins. So pitching preview, Braxton Garrett versus Gallen on Friday. Sixto Sanchez versus Jordan Montgomery on Saturday. TBD versus Ryan Weathers on Sunday. I believe that's Slade's spot. So I'm very curious. I would love to see them bring up Christian Mena. That's what I would like to. I want to see him get a shot.
He pitched yesterday, so I think he would be able to take that Sunday start if needed. So, also, Brad, I just want to say real quick, the Sod Poodle nickname is the Saudis.
What do I call them?
The Saudis.
Yeah,
it just sounds
the
like
Saudis.
Yeah,
you know that? Yeah, they're called
like,
the Saudis, baby.
I know, but it just sounds like the Arab country, the Saudis.
It does.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair. I don't know why my brain always thinks of just like I don't even know. I just think of just like a dog. I genuinely think a dog pissing. Not gonna lie. I don't know why. That's just what my brain always goes to. It's a very weird nickname, but hey, I love the Saudis, man.
We will see 2 former D-backs on the Marlins, Emmanuel Rivera and Jazz Chisholm.
Do you like Sorry.
So
it's funny that I say that and I have my B cards right here. I think it's just like my brain felt the telepathic connection.
So if they don't sweep this team, after what they did to the Dodgers, I'm going to be like, stop this up and down. Like, that's what's so frustrating, is they will look good against the Dodgers, and then we saw what they did against the Tigers, who I personally think that were better, regardless of what the records state. So at least win the series. At least win 2 or 3. Like, yeah, I saw that today too. Marlins beat the Brewers 1-0.
We missed Luzardo, I think, which
yes,
I don't think we do good against hard throwing lefties, so that's good.
Yeah, because he pitched today, so we would miss him. But no, sweep would be nice. And I want to continue to see progression from Corbin Carroll. He's been really getting the barrel on the ball a lot lately. Some games, he goes hitless, but I'm like, just make good contact, because to me that shows that he's in the right direction of progressing. So, Gabe, you got any bold predictions for against the Marlins?
No, not really. But I guess I have some final thoughts real quick. I just want to give a quick take back on Mason Miller. Not because I think I'm wrong necessarily, but it just seems like I'm bashing him a bit. I think Mason Miller is amazing. I think he should be in contention for Cy Young if he keeps this up. But I want to say that I think hindsight is 2020. If they do trade him away, we're going to say that the A's fleeced whatever team gets him.
I think the A's are going to ask for a lot, and some team's going to give it. I don't know if the D-backs are going to do that.
I hope not. Not gonna lie.
I mean, if it means no more Miguel Castro, I'm all for it.
Dude, I forgot he was injured. Oh man, I feel like you just mentioned Voldemort's name, and oh God, no, not him! Please, no, stay away.
We had another unfortunate setback, so we won't see him for a bit.
Did he? I don't. It's weird. I feel like I don't get the injury notifications for anyone but like Alec Perdomo, and then Erod and Merrill. Which I guess we can mention that before we go. Merrill's going to be getting an MRI
tomorrow.
Pecora said.
Yeah.
Which is kind of good news, I guess. I wasn't expecting them to really do an MRI on him probably until like the middle of next month.
Well, I think they want to see what they need to do. So I think they just like shut him down for a month, and then they're just going to see how his body healed, and then at that point they can come up with a game plan.
I said if he's so they're going to start throwing if he healed, and they're going to start throwing program, and we haven't really got any news on Alec, and we saw Perdomo, shimmying it up on the exercise, whatever the hell that thing was. So we're getting close.
Almost there. Back to the full chaos backs.
Yeah, so very excited. Do appreciate for everyone for sticking with us tonight. We did go a little bit longer. We did have a slight temporary pause. I'm not sure what happened. I want to see if I can get that figured out. But make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever we go live. Make sure to go ahead and check out our Twitter, as that is where we are the most active, especially during games. So we appreciate everyone for stopping by.